Imagine you've prepared a client's tax return. The math is spotless, and then the mail arrives. Your client is holding a red-flagged IRS audit notice, and they are looking directly at you for help. Up to this point, you've relied on your P10. Getting a preparer tax identification number is a straightforward process, and it legally clears you to prepare basic returns for your clients. But an audit notice changes the rules of engagement. This is the exact moment your P10 hits a brick wall. When it comes to direct, high-stakes communication with the IRS, a basic P10 does not give you the authority to speak on your client's behalf. You are legally locked out. Even though you did the work and filed the paperwork, the IRS will not let you sit across the table and defend your own client. You are left with two uncomfortable choices. You can wish your client good luck and send them into the audit alone, or you can hand them over to a competitor who has the credentials to handle the lucrative resolution work. This lockout creates a massive wave of imposter syndrome among tax preparers. Many assume the only way to solve this is to endure the grueling, multi-year process of getting a CPA license. But there is a different route. There is an elite credential designed entirely for tax controversy, and it bypasses state accounting boards completely. Enter the enrolled agent. This is the highest credential awarded directly by the U.S. Treasury Department. To earn it, you typically have to pass the Special Enrollment Examination, a rigorous 3-part test focused heavily on the intricacies of the tax code. There is a second, much rarer pathway, reserved for former IRS employees who possess specific qualifying experience working inside the agency itself. Once active, an EA holds a highly specific legal right, the absolute authority to represent taxpayers before the Internal Revenue Service in federal tax matters. Unlike a standard preparer, an EA can sign a Form 2848 power of attorney. They can handle formal communications, sign paperwork, and directly manage controversies from start to finish. Keeping this power active requires ongoing maintenance. EAs are mandated to complete 72 hours of continuing education every 3-year renewal cycle. An enrolled agent is the ultimate federal specialist. It grants you nationwide representation rights without forcing you to memorize unrelated public accounting rules. To cut through the CPA intimidation factor, we need to look at this chart comparison matrix. We have scope, jurisdiction, and audit rights on the left, plotted against the EA and CPA credentials. Starting with this CPA, this is a license issued by individual state boards of accountancy, meaning it is strictly governed by local state regulations. Its scope is incredibly broad. A CPA is trained to handle public accounting, corporate finance, advisory services, and taxes. The defining power of a CPA is the right to perform certified financial audits and attestations for the public and corporations. Now look at the enrolled agent. Because it is authorized at the federal level, an EA credential holds the exact same legal weight across all 50 states. The scope here is entirely specialized. EAs are completely focused on the federal tax code and tax-related representation. They cannot perform public attestations or sign off on corporate financial statements the way a CPA does. Think of it like a classic anime rivalry. The CPA is the prince of broad, state-level power, equipped for almost any financial battle. The EA is the specialist, training intensely in one specific domain to dominate federal tax combat. Neither credential beats the other in a vacuum. They simply command entirely different jurisdictions and utilize completely different skill trees. If you hold only the EA credential, you have a deep, specialized knowledge of tax law, but you might have a blind spot when it comes to the underlying financial mechanics that produce those tax numbers. Adding a bachelor's degree in accounting closes that gap immediately. It acts as a massive force multiplier for your tax practice. The degree builds your structural foundation. You learn how to deconstruct journal entries, analyze financial statements, and accurately classify complex assets. This matters because the vast majority of tax disputes don't start on the tax return itself. They originate from how operations were recorded in the company's books months or years prior. With an accounting background, you can spot critical book-to-tax differences and timing discrepancies that a pure tax preparer might completely miss. Imagine an IRS auditor is aggressively challenging a business's expense classifications on a Schedule C return. The pressure is on, and the auditor wants proof. Your accounting degree allows you to trace those numbers back to the source. You can reconstruct the financial facts, organize the documentary support, and logically defend your tax position against the auditor. The EA grants you the legal right to sit at the table with the IRS. The accounting degree provides the structural logic you need to actually win the case. Let's map out your next few years with a decision tree, starting with, what is your primary career goal? If your goal is auditing public companies or corporate finance, follow this first branch. That path requires the CPA license. Here, an EA holds no value. But if you want to specialize strictly in tax preparation, tax resolution, and advising small businesses, you follow this alternate branch. That brings you directly to the EA combined with an accounting degree, equipping you for Schedule C filings and nationwide collections. Choosing this route completely removes the friction of navigating state-specific credit rules and board licensing regulations. You get straight to the work. This combination transforms you into an elite advocate, erasing any imposter syndrome when that audit notice arrives. A CPA license is a powerful, broad tool for the financial world, but pairing an enrolled agent's federal authority with an accounting degree builds the ultimate specialized weapon for the American taxpayer.